Well, hello there, Gemini. It is so good to see you. Happy New Year. I hope your year is off to a great start. So today we are doing your 3-month reading, looking at January, February, and March. We're going to have a huge experience in March astrologically. Pluto is moving into Aquarius and Saturn is moving into Pisces. So these are big movements. Pluto only moves once every 20 years. So this is a lovely energy. It'll kind of go into Aquarius, back into Capricorn, but then it's a lovely energy of getting a taste of what 2024 will look like. So we're going to take a look at the overall energies, then each of the months, January, February, March. Look at the energies, see what is on the horizon for you. And let's go ahead and get started. So what do we have? Fox Spirit, think on your feet. Oh, Gemini, and cleansing waters. Purification activates a vibrant life force. Okay, so right off, I feel like things are coming in. It's kind of like I'm almost talking super fast. There's this energy that things are speeding up for you, like almost coming in so quickly. You're having to think on your feet, make decisions very quickly. And it's about being really in tune with your intuition. Not overthinking, because being an air sign, you can sometimes kind of overthink things. You may have difficulty sleeping, anxiety, kind of like going over things over and over again about any decisions, changes that you're trying to make in life, or new opportunities that come in. But there's this sense of calming your mind, staying in tune with your intuition, knowing that when you are in alignment with your intuition, not worrying about what other people are necessarily thinking or doing or saying. It's kind of like, okay, I'm just using my own intuitive nature to guide how I move through all of these transitions. So I feel like between now and early March, when Pluto moves into Aquarius and Saturn moves into Pisces, it's this energy of clearing away anything that is cluttering your mind, your emotional space, understanding you're making space for new things. Gemini, I feel like you are so ready for this. It's kind of like so lovely. And you could be even kind of like wishing it was already here. I think you can already feel the energies moving for you, but it's about really tapping into your emotional sector, understanding that your heart is guiding you in the direction that you are wanting to go in. My goodness. And look at peace on the bottom. It's almost as if January and February, and I'm not going to say March isn't, but I feel like things really turn in March for you. But January and February is almost bringing you this sense of peace about things that have happened in the past. So it's kind of like, yeah, oh my goodness, this is just so beautiful. Yeah, letting go. Look at this. Acceptance. The first part of allowing things to kind of be released, energies to be released, is just accepting that something is no longer an option. It's kind of like, okay, I don't have to worry about it anymore. I'm closing that door, or that door has been closed for me. Either way, it doesn't matter. I'm accepting it. I'm not mulling over it. Gemini, you can be that energy that second guesses every decision that you have made, other people have made. It's kind of this energy of, no, I'm accepting this is the end, or this is the way it is, and then I'm moving on. Think on your feet. It's kind of like, okay, that's the way it is. Okay, what's my next? What are the options that are still available to me? It's almost like crossing off. Like there's so much coming in for you. You could be just like crossing off options. Nope, that's not for me. Cross it off. I don't want to look at it again. It's about... Yeah, it's about understanding some things have left your life and you're okay with it. That energy of letting go. Everything is indeed out of control, and God will hold it all. I can safely let go. Yeah, just understanding you can safely let go. Things are going to work out for your very highest good. Sometimes when we hold on to something, whatever it is, we can sometimes, it's a little bit of that sense of holding on to some illusion that if we hold on to pattern of behavior or a thinking about a certain issue or something, that we can change either the situation or we can change other people's thinking about the situation. It's almost as if you're understanding, I have no more time or energy to give to this. I'm moving in a direction that is best for my own self. And you're not going to believe this. Look, you have the King and Queen of Cups both showing up. King shows up in January. The Queen shows up in February. And gender doesn't matter, but both of these are energies of kind of overcoming any emotional distress, right? Of getting on top of your emotions and then being able to step into that world of loving again, whether it's romantic or just loving yourself or loving other people in your life, loving your purpose, just a sense of stepping into this really loving energy. Yeah, you have a major career change coming up in March. I feel like you're stepping into something new. And, you also have school on the bottom. I feel like either you are becoming a teacher, okay, in some way, or you are going back to school and learning how to become a teacher, learning more information. And then you have heart's desire. So it says the angels are supporting, guiding, and protecting you as your dreams become a reality. Really lovely, lovely energy. Understanding that I think for some of you, it's a sense of having finished out your own healing and now stepping into an energy of truly helping others to heal. It's March is really, oh my goodness. And then you have the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Wow. Yeah, you are walking away. You're ending something. We have the Death card here. Endings bring new beginnings. And that is what this January, February energy is. Really, and Gemini, you have been working on this for some time. So it's not a sense. Some of you may say, yeah, I've healed. I've moved on from that situation. But here's the difference, is that it's not just moving on from it. It's learning. It's kind of internalizing it. It's turning it. It's alchemy is what it is. You're taking the wisdom of something difficult situation that you had been through. You're taking the wisdom that you have learned out of that situation, the healing that you have done in that situation, and now turning it into your true purpose. Okay, so it's not just ending. It's the ending of an entire cycle. And, with Pluto moving in March, I feel like it's just churned up this energy within you. You've looked really deeply at something, but the Death card to me is also ending the healing situation in that. So now you've finished out a cycle, you've healed from the cycle, and now you're ready to begin something new. So you're truly closing out one cycle to step into a new cycle. And I feel like for some of you, it really is near and dear to your heart, but it's about helping other people, bringing support, healing, teaching other people what you have learned, the wisdom that you have gained on your path, and doing it. Queen of Cups, the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands. The divine feminine energy has really been coming out, and we all have divine masculine and feminine, but this divine feminine energy seems to really be coming out strong in my readings right now. Really going within, understanding what does my heart truly desire, and now I'm going to go after it. So it's really, I feel like January and February are really key to going within and asking yourself, what do I truly desire? I'm no longer going to second guess myself. It's kind of like, okay, I'm going to get clear about what I want. And then here I am with my passion, going forth, taking action on what it is my heart truly desires. Because underneath that, we have the Judgment. Oh my goodness. And we have the Chariot. Moving forward very quickly, making these decisions, thinking on your feet, right? Options are going to, I feel it's literally this energy of like flying in at you. It's like, whoa, there's an option. Whoa, there's an option. It's almost like you come to the end of this with the death card, right? You come to the end of this, cycle, and then suddenly all these things, where's my death card? Here it is. You come to the end of this cycle, and it's all of a sudden all of these new options are coming in for you. It's about making sure you're choosing those options from what your heart truly desires. I think this is something that you've had to really embrace, especially lately. In the past, you're a very mutable sign. You love to please people, right? And you second guess yourself. So in the past, you may have really been making decisions based on everybody, thinking about other people and how they may think about things, even if it was very subconsciously. Now you're really stepping into this energy of knowing the best way forward for me is when I choose from what my heart desires. And it's not that you're cutting everybody else out of your life, but you're making yourself a top priority. The Queen of Cups knows she has to follow her own heart, because if you don't follow your own heart, then no one is going to help you to become happy. It's kind of this energy of stepping out of that, thinking that if you are making decisions that other people will like, that they will like you back, or that they will make decisions thinking about you. Now you're in this energy of, no, I've learned that lesson the hard way. Pluto was in Capricorn, okay, for almost 20 years. So Pluto was in Capricorn, and you learned the hard way. Capricorn is all about the hard work, right? Working hard. And it's kind of like, I feel like your hard lesson was understanding when I make decisions, keeping other people in complete, almost as if they have as much balance or weight in your decisions as you did. It led you into this world where things may have crumbled away. It's kind of like you were in a very loving place, Gemini, but you weren't loving yourself enough. And the Queen of Cups knows that. She knows that the only decisions she really and truly, all of her decisions, I should say, really need to be based on what is her heart is desiring. And then with the Queen of Wands, it's stepping into that sense of being really passionate, inspired, taking a true action on those options that are coming to you in January and February that are in alignment with what your heart is desiring to create. Once you step into the sense of I'm making decisions, this is for me, this is for my highest good. When you make those decisions, you're on your path, you're on your soul's purpose. You're doing it because it's in alignment with who you are and who you are wanting to become. And that is part of your soul's purpose. Even if you're not sure what your purpose is at this time, you know it's the first step. And then you move forward very quickly. This is the year of the Chariot. The Chariot is the number 7 in Tarot, and 2023 reduces to the number 7. Once you decide, and that is the key, once you decide to make decisions based on your heart, what your heart is truly desiring, and why you are here, then you move forward very quickly. You're moving out of a time of feeling not worthy enough. In the past, you may have made decisions based on what other people wanted you to do or wanted for you, right? And what happened is then those people may have left your life. So you may have learned that the hard way. You could have maybe perhaps helped a family member, or you could have given a lot to, a spouse or a long-term committed relationship. And then realized, unfortunately, that you were giving to that relationship, but the person was not giving as much to you. And that relationship may have ended. Either you ended it or the other person ended it. And it's kind of like you realized, okay, yeah, this is, 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups. This is a really difficult energy of having to look at how did I get myself in that spot? And what you're recognizing is I was making choices based on what other people wanted for me. I was trying to keep myself safe with the Seven of Wands here. I was keeping myself in this cage, right? Because I felt like if I gave a lot to this person, this relationship, this job, that I would stay safe and secure, that they would provide that for me. And then poof, something happened, right? Something cleared that out. The relationship ended, the job disappeared, the career path disappeared, the lifestyle that you had disappeared. Something major came to an end, and you realized it's because I wasn't really following my heart. You may have created the illusion in your mind that you were following your heart. But now what you realize is, no, I was keeping all of these other people. I was trying to keep a lot of other people in my life happy. And because I did that, I didn't make the decisions that were the best for me. And once again, I think you did it at the time because you thought it was the best for you, or you thought it was what was going to make you happy. Now you're walking away. Eight of Cups, realizing that making choices based on trying to stay safe instead of following your path led you to where you are now. And, you know, I feel like for a lot of you, you've realized this at some point. But now in 2023, I think you're really stepping into, I'm in this position, Eight of Cups. My life is okay, but I really want the 9 and 10 of Cups. So you're walking on that path. You're making decisions based on what your heart truly desires. So let's get into this. Wow, so much already has come out. Okay, so one of the first things that comes out is surrender here. So it says, sometimes learning to surrender can feel as if you're dying. The ego learns what's hardest to stop trying to control the whole universe. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's such a lovely energy, because it really is when we accept that a door has closed. And I remember that came out in your reading back in October or November, where you know, you were coming to the point where you were accepting that something was no longer an option. You know, the dream of the happy life, the whatever it was that ended for you. And I really feel like it probably ended like 5 or maybe 6 years ago. But something has taken a long time for you to release, to completely release the energy. And I know some of you are going to say, no, I released it a long time ago. But when you release it, it is that energy. It feels like you are dying because you're giving something up. You literally have to grieve that something is over. It's no longer an option. And that breaks our heart, right? Especially if it's something that you loved dearly or thought would be your 10 of Cups. It's this energy of really having to embrace yourself. You know, they're showing me this figure as kind of like your inner child. I think when whatever disappeared out of your life, it was a sense of your inner child, literally crying. You know, it broke you in a part of you that maybe you had, even though you had maybe had other losses in your life, this last loss was so profound that you could have maybe for the very first time truly felt your inner child crying. You know, it was like so gut-wrenching. It's over, right? And yet there's this energy of realizing that you had to surrender to it being over. You had to accept it. You had to move on. And I think January allows you to see that you have surrendered to this new journey of stepping into something new, of really realizing, okay, as 2022 closed out, you realized it's really over. You know, once again, that energy where perhaps, you know, at the holidays, you didn't hear from somebody that you kept hoping that you would hear from, or you didn't receive something by the end of the year. Like maybe you even gave it to the end of 2022 to, you know, get a job offer or find the perfect house or whatever it was. And now you're kind of like, yeah, when the new year started, it was kind of like this energy of, yeah, that option really is dead. I have given it that energy. I've given it way so much time. Yeah, so you have the King of Cups, and then you have friends and colleagues. Trustworthy, honorable, devoted, cautious. Someone you can completely trust. A situation that is safe. A solid romantic relationship. Hidden but well-intended emotions. A charitable benefactor. So it's this energy, and it's also about perhaps seeing a counselor to overcome any energy that you're still feeling there. But it's also this energy of opening up to trusting yourself more, because you're recognizing in the past you trusted other people that you loved, right? Now you can step into this energy of trusting your intuition. So you're making decisions. Doesn't mean you may not ask friends and family their opinion, but what you're doing is you're listening to their advice in a different way. You're listening to see what resonates for you. It's not like you're listening to them and trying to figure out, oh, how can I use that advice? Instead, what you're doing is intuitively listening to other people's advice and asking yourself, or allowing your intuition to ping your heart chakra, or maybe your crown chakra, or your third eye. Like it pings and you're kind of like, oh my goodness, that is the answer, because you're connecting more to source instead of what other people are saying. Really very profound, because it could be that you're even watching this tarot reading or another tarot reading, right? When you're watching tarot, especially these general readings, right? Everything's not going to resonate, right? Because it's a general reading. But at the same time, when you're watching them, and I watch other readers, when you're watching them, it's kind of listening to your intuition. Does that resonate with me? If it doesn't, it's just not meant for you. It doesn't mean everything in the reading is for you. Sometimes you might resonate with the whole reading. Great. But if there's parts of it, there's just even one little part that resonates with you, then it was worth putting, listening to it, because you're listening to your intuition. You're knowing. That's the difference. You know now that not everybody knows what is best for you. You are the one that knows the best for you. So interesting, right? Because even, as a tarot reader, right, I can tap into my intuition. But at the same time, when you're listening to any reading, you should be tapping into your intuition about what of that is really meant for you. I love this energy because it's really switching. I have to say Leo had somewhat of a similar energy of really recognizing, oh, wait a minute, I have my own intuitive powers, right? We all have it. Everybody has access to their own intuition. It's understanding I'm not giving up my control to whoever. I'm listening intently, but I'm also understanding that there's a difference between taking in information from external sources and also seeing how that resonates with what I am receiving from source. Wow. So what do we have here? Nutrition. You conduct healing work with your culinary skills. Okay, I really feel like Gemini, January is really about you taking good care of your own health. You may be starting, I know it's January, we're all starting the new diet or the new exercise regime. But I feel like part of this is understanding that when you take really good care of yourself, when you, it's not just really about eating healthier foods. It's also about recognizing how those foods make you feel. Do they give you more energy? Do they give you more clarity? Do they help you to sleep better, right? You can eat some really healthy foods, right? And then they can make you feel worse. For me, salmon is really healthy for you. I eat salmon and I can eat a little bit. I don't have anything against salmon, but it's kind of like if I eat too much, it's just too fatty for my system, right? I can't digest it. I just don't feel that well after I eat it. So even though salmon is really healthy, I'm listening to my body, right? I'm listening to my intuition. while you are perhaps trying to eat healthier or getting more exercise, you're also becoming more intuitive about how this is affecting your physical vessel. It's not about, oh, okay, so they tell me eating salmon is really good for me, so I'm going to force myself to eat salmon. It's kind of like, no, if salmon doesn't agree with my system, right? Maybe I'll make a different choice. There are other fishes I can eat, and I do, but it's that energy of recognizing, okay, just because this, this medical association or this dietitian, nutritionist tells me I should eat salmon, right? If it doesn't set right with me, okay, that might be good. It's just like a tarot reading. Those suggestions might be good for a lot of people, right? But if it's not sitting well with you, why are you eating it, right? I mean, it's just kind of opening yourself up to understanding all of the information I receive does not have to resonate with me, does not have to be for my highest good. I really love that, because what you're doing, you have the King of Swords here. So remember, you have the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups, the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. The King of Cups is, the King of Swords, let's start with this, is that energy of being clear cut, looking at things logically. Okay, so it's gaining information perhaps about foods that are best for you, right? But then it's also saying, okay, that is information, but how do I feel when I eat it? Or how does it make me feel better? Really kind of an interesting twist on things is in January, you have learned that terrible, it was kind of a terrible time for you to go through this, understanding what everybody has to say isn't necessarily true for me. You've overcome that. And in January, it's almost like you're practicing taking in information from different areas and resonating, what is resonating with me? What is resonating with my heart chakra? What is resonating with my crown chakra? All of this information, we're in the information age, but it's information overload, right? And it's kind of like taking in the information, but also having a good filter on it and recognizing what is good for me and what is not good for me. So I love that January is kind of about what is my path forward. And I do feel like you're getting a lot of options, but you're looking at those options, looking at that information as, what is good for my highest good. All right, so February, oh my goodness, I absolutely love this card. You have true love. So this is stepping into an energy of truly loving yourself. It's not just physically, mentally, emotionally. I think in February, you're sitting there, you're able to look in the mirror. It's like January, you kind of like become more committed to having a relationship. I'm going to say it that way, like having a relationship with yourself, with your vessel, with your intuition, understanding that the body part of you is connected to your emotions, your mental, your spiritual. It's a package. The whole package is the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. What you're understanding is that they're all connected. I know there are some foods I can eat and I have lots of energy afterwards. Other foods I eat and it's like I got to go take a nap, right? It's understanding how everything is kind of connected. I know, for instance, if I don't meditate, I can just like literally be up all night, just the monkey mind going, right? But if I take time to meditate in the morning and time in the afternoon to clear that energy out, to bring peace to my mind, then I can sleep better. So it's kind of like you're recognizing in January, it's almost kind of like you're practicing, you're tweaking your daily routine. Recognizing it all comes together. It's not just what I eat, how I exercise, how much sleep I get, how much water I drink, the meditating, the journaling. It's all of it. And what is the best proportion for me? And I love that. It's kind of almost like with this King of Swords, you're fine-tuning what works for you. You're fine-tuning your routine. In January, you might be tweaking it a little bit, trying to figure out what that is. But then in February, my goodness, you have it. It's kind of like, okay, I figured out the magic recipe for me. And then the divine flow, essentially one sublime desire takes precedence over all others to follow the Tao, the divine flow at all costs. Yeah, just understanding that none of the four things, physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual, is more important than the other. Oh my gosh, it's like this balance comes in for you, Gemini. It's just beautiful. And I think, you're one of the signs that sometimes can have difficulty with balance. But you're understanding now how important that internal balance is. That balance of vessel, of, source, of your spiritual practices, your mental clarity is coming into play. And then you have the Queen of Cups. And I love this. The King of Cups is, someone that can hold back their emotions. Right? And then the Queen of Cups has this loving capacity that is so rich. It's making decisions that are based on what is good for you, your heart's desire. Remember, you had the heart's desire, making those decisions based on what is good for you. So it says loving, compassionate, psychic, self-sacrificing, deep psychic insights, caring for others, but forgetting to care for yourself. That's the part you've got to get over, right? The Queen of Cups knows she has to fill up her own cup before she can give to others. Trust your intuition, a deep love of family and friends. Follow your heart. I mean, that is the key. It's about, okay, what's good for me? When we step into the energy of what is good for me, for my heart's desire, then everything else falls into place. Yeah, you're seeing a completely different perspective. I feel like it's almost like life has been perhaps difficult up to this point. And now it's kind of like you step into this flow, this divine flow of knowing that things are coming in and going out in a divine planned way. And it's okay. It's like, I don't have to control any of this, allowing things to come and go as needed. And then we have light and love. Oh, your purpose is to bring divine healing light and love to this world. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all, Gemini, because here's the thing. You have put so much time and energy into your own healing, right? And now it is time to step into that energy of being a teacher, and to go into, the role of helping other people to heal. In whatever way that is, through your art, through your music, through your writing, through your speaking, your teaching, YouTube channels, it doesn't matter yet. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Strength card, High Priestess, having the strength and the courage to allow yourself to be guided by your intuition and not by these external forces. That's pretty powerful. That is really powerful. Because, I can say, even at my point in my life, right, and, my children are older, and, I've had so many experiences in my life. Sometimes it is really even hard for me to, even though I can come into my intuition, I use my intuition, but it is really hard when I can say this for a fact, this occurs for me, is that I know that I'm making a choice because I'm allowing somebody in my life to kind of have more say, right? I want to keep that person happy, or I want that person to stay in my life. So I'm making a decision. And here's the key is that, and I have really kind of recognized this in myself lately, is that I say to myself, yes, I know I'm not doing what is highest for my highest good, but I'm recognizing it, right? And I'm still making this choice because I want to please somebody, right? And it's not like big stuff, but it is kind of a little bit of that. If I'm saying, I know this isn't for my highest good, then why am I doing it, right? I mean, it's kind of like an epiphany for me. It's kind of moving on from that. moving on from the drama of trying to keep other people happy will lead you, look at this, to what your truth is and the true love that you are looking for in your life. It's like you can't get there as long as, because it's almost like when you're not listening to your intuition and you allow yourself to make a decision that you know maybe isn't right for you. But it's kind of like, well, this is just a little thing. It doesn't matter. I know I know that this maybe isn't for my highest good, but it's okay. I'm still making that decision, right? Is that you're kind of stepping out of your own power. You're giving up your power to somebody else, or you're giving up your fear that somebody might leave your life or may not like your decision or something like that. Really powerful there, Gemini. It's really powerful because here you are. You know, you can either choose, right, from your heart, or you can choose, right, because you have Two of Pentacles and it's in the middle. It's kind of like you're trying to balance what is good for you and what your heart's desire, and perhaps what other people, your business, your boss, your parents, your family, because the Emperor kind of represents, you know, people outside of you that have power. I'm going to say kind of like have power over you, maybe more than you want to recognize. This could also be governments, you know, institutions, society at large. It's kind of like you're still toying. Oh, you know, should I make this decision based on what my heart wants, my intuition is leading me to, or am I going to, this is a little bit of trying to play it safe, right? Because if I make this person happy, if the Emperor doesn't get too mad at me, whoever this Emperor might be, right? If they don't get too mad at me, then I'll be safe. Yeah, it's stepping out of that energy, knowing that you are protected, that when you are following your heart, things will fall in line for you, that you don't have to worry about keeping other people happy. Wow. I mean, that's so powerful, because when we get to that point, it's definitely the divine flow. You're stepping totally into your purpose. Asking yourself, what is your purpose? What is your dharma? Why are you here? What is it that you are meant to do? And stepping into that. Because look at what March brings. And this is with the Pluto and Saturn. Pluto moving into Aquarius, healer. Stepping into that energy of being a healer. And then, you know, Saturn moving into Pisces, very spiritual. You know, coming into this energy of recognizing, oh my goodness, this is my path. It's almost as if you have known what your path is for some time, Gemini. But it's a kind of like you've been resisting it, maybe because you knew that when you really and truly followed your path, there was something or someone that wasn't truly going to embrace what you wanted to do. And so you've been kind of holding yourself back, sacrificing what it is your heart truly desires, what your purpose is. You've been sacrificing that in order to appease somebody. It almost like breaks my heart, because I think you know it. If you're resonating at all with this, you kind of know it, right? Sometimes surrender is painful. God's cutting away all that needs to go. Illusions, obsessions, addictions. It's a sacrifice to love. Yeah, recognizing the very top person in your life that you should be loving is yourself. Stepping into loving your path, and being willing to sacrifice everything else, but not wanting to step into that energy of sacrificing, knowing that, wow, my purpose is the direction I need to go in. Yeah. Because you have the Three of Swords, great sadness that will heal with time, let go of the past, personal growth that comes from challenges, healing understandings, being there for those in need. I think you're recognizing that. You're recognizing it. Even if you've been in that energy for some time, you're now recognizing, I think by March, you're recognizing, wait a minute. This is why I'm here. This is the path I need to go on. There are some people, some situations that may need to leave my life, but that's okay. I've been through so much. It's kind of that energy. I understand. I'll still be okay. It could be that you just don't want anything else to leave your life, right? There's still something that's holding you back from stepping into this energy of truly, for some of you, there's almost this energy of just, what is this? You have wise counselor, unity with a spiritually minded community. Ask the divine for help and trust the answers will come. Compare traditional methods with new ideas to see which is best for you. Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're taking, you start that in January. You're taking traditional methods of eating, exercising, mindfulness, but you're looking at it. What is good for me? What works for me? And I feel like that's what you're doing is you're understanding, wait a minute, not every diet works for everybody, right? We know that, right? But it's kind of like, it doesn't work for everybody. Every exercise regime doesn't work for everybody. You have become the wise one in knowing that everybody doesn't heal the same way. You're stepping into an energy of understanding people heal in different ways, but it's almost as if all of the traumas that you have had on your path, all of the different difficulties, the misunderstandings, my goodness, Gemini, they've brought you this wisdom about how to heal all of those different traumas. It would be really interesting to write down what your traumas have been. There's been this energy of having that silver thread through your traumas, but now I feel like you can almost compartmentalize them into different kinds of traumas. Actually kind of like, I don't want to say labeling, but almost kind of like sorting them into different kinds of traumas and understanding that you used a different way to heal each of those different kinds of traumas. Maybe you had, significant traumas in romance, different traumas in family issues, different traumas in career, different traumas, health-wise, different traumas in finances. But you had to heal each of those in a different way. It wasn't one size fits all for all of those different traumas. That is part of your path, is that you have had these traumas, but understanding the same healing process didn't work for all of them. Wow, Gemini, that's resonating with you. This is what your career is changing, right? It could be that for some of you, you're really stepping into an energy of coaching, looking at people one-on-one, or a healing. It could be Reiki healing or, homeopathic or holistic or, tarot readings or courses or something, whatever you want to teach, but also having this aspect of it that is very individualistic towards the people that you are helping. Understanding, okay, this general reading won't help everybody, right? So how can, it's kind of interesting. How could I create tarot readings for the general, but perhaps individualize them? Really interesting energy. I don't think it has necessarily to do with tarot readings, but it's that energy of understanding that everybody is different. Everybody doesn't heal the same way, and we don't heal different kinds of traumas in the same way. One way does not fit all. One size does not fit all. I'm rather petite. I'm vertically challenged, as I say. And it's kind of like I get so flustered when I go shopping and it says one size fits all, because it definitely doesn't fit me. Anything that's one size fits all does not fit me. So I'm not part of the all, right? One size fits all except Mary Sue. And I'm sure it doesn't really fit all, right? I know I'm not the only one excluded from that. But I feel like if you have been kind of going through your life, frustrated because diets or exercise regimes or spiritual practices, right, that help other people, that a lot of people say, oh my goodness, this, this was amazing, you need to try it, and then it doesn't work, right? Just like that one size fits all clothing that doesn't work for me. It's kind of like, okay, I get it now. It wasn't meant to help me. That diet was not meant to help me. That exercise regime was not meant to help me. It wasn't the diet. It wasn't you. It was a lesson on the path to help you to understand, oh, wait a minute. I had to figure it out on my own. By figuring it out on your own, you can now teach it to others. Really, for some of you, because I was a teacher, I'm going to say if you really struggled in school, okay, I feel like I'm getting that message here that you realize, like, our education system, it's kind of like one size fits all. And, we talk about differentiation in education and all of that stuff. That's fine. But I've been on the teacher side of that. That is really difficult. When you have 26 to 30 kids in your class, to differentiate is really difficult. It's like pie in the sky, okay? But it's not reality. I feel like that's what you're doing. You're recognizing that we're putting out these illusions that we're teaching to every single individual in the classroom, but realizing, wait a minute, nobody's getting really what they need. And it's kind of like, okay, how can I change that? What can I do to make a difference? That's what your career is. And you're stepping into this energy, kind of moving from the King of Swords, seeing things clearly, logically, about how one size fits all does not fit everybody, right? And you're adding your love to it. And I love that. The Queen of Swords, I love her because, she sees clearly what is wrong in the world. I think you're stepping into this energy. I see clearly now what people need. My traumas, my voyage has brought me to this point where I can see how I can maybe, because I've had all this experience with painful situations in my life and I've healed them, because I feel like you're ending the healing. You're stepping into this new world. Now I can help other people heal because you have a toolbox of a lot of different healing modalities of, how you have helped yourself to do this healing. You can now heal others. Yeah. Being there for those in need. Stepping into that energy of understanding this is my path. This really and truly is my path. I am now the wise counselor for others. Wow, really spectacular. These readings have been really incredible. All right, Gemini, let's pull the soul truth card for you to end this out. And I'm going to take that one. We'll take one more. And I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. Okay, how can I surrender even more in this moment? Yeah. It's, coming back, because you had surrender right here in January, right? What is it that you are sometimes learning to surrender can feel as if you're dying? I feel like there's something else that you need to surrender, Gemini. There's that energy. That there's something else that you need to surrender, that you feel like you've healed, but it's kind of like, it's almost like you've cleaned out a closet in your house, right? That was a big mess. You cleaned out the whole closet, but there's this little squirrel's nest over in the corner. And it's kind of like, yeah, it's back in the dark part of the closet. And you're kind of like, I really don't want to go there. I really don't want to go there. I encourage you, to kind of go there, to understand, that in that dark corner is perhaps the key that unlocks all of your healing modalities, understanding how they are connected and yet interconnected. That's what I'm going to say. Your healing modalities are interconnected. They're not connected. They're interconnected. Really interesting. All right. It is essential to have clear, strong intentions of what we desire, but it's equally important for us to detach from the outcome. It's time to surrender. Let the universe have some breathing room to work. Let go of the wheel and trust so deeply that your trust turns into gratitude for what you cannot see yet, but you know is coming. Okay, I'm going to put that up there, and then I got a message. Okay, so if you are sitting there and you're like so how do I say this? Like so committed, okay, to what you feel like it is that you are meant to do here, okay, what your path is. You're so committed to it, okay, very much this King of Swords energy. There is this message about softening that. Because it's a kind of like surrendering to the journey. It's kind of like, okay, instead of taking this all the way to the end, seeing it to come to a certain point, right? Instead, what I'm going to do is take one step and then surrender and listen to my intuition about how to go forward. There's almost a sense here where you may be a little bit so narrow focused on something, you know, but what you're not recognizing is that there's almost like a different outcome that is better for you. Really kind of profound. I'm kind of, you know, thinking even for myself, I was really kind of gung-ho on going in a certain direction. And it was going well, things were going well. And then what I realized, you know, it was my son actually that pointed out to me. He was like, you're way too focused, Mom, on that. This is the avenue. And you need to kind of like start, it's not giving up this. It's kind of like your focus is off, getting back into your heart. Why is it important? When he pointed that out to me, it was kind of like, okay, that's when my intuition dinged. It was kind of like, yeah, he was meant to point that out to me. I was so focused on one outcome, but what he was pointing out to me led me in kind of a different, it's not a different path, but is looking at things in a different way, led me on, you know, a really lovely path to the side that's still in line with what it is that I wanted to do and to create. All right, well, the other thing you have here is, what else could this mean? There are always multiple ways to look at every situation. Our first reaction is usually rooted in our fears and limiting beliefs. Look at a situation today by stepping outside of the trigger and ask yourself, what else could this mean? Is there something your soul is calling you to learn in this moment? Or is there a pattern that is ready to be broken? Yeah. Walk in the other person's shoes and see it from their perspective. If it doesn't involve someone else, ask yourself, how is life happening for me right now? Yeah, really kind of interesting. I'll put that up for you too. Really kind of interesting about looking at things, you know, okay, I'm really super focused. This is my outcome. This is how I'm moving forward. The King of Cups that comes in to remind us that it is, you know, the cups represent our intuition. It's not about seeing everything in black and white and in reality around us. Right? There is that intuitive nature, you know, being able to kind of balance those two in our life. And I do love, you know, the fact that you also have the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords, right? So you're starting out with this very masculine energy. You're allowing your divine feminine to come up, you know, to have the King of Swords and the King of Cups, the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups. You know, once again, Leo had the King and Queen of Swords they had the King and Queen of Cups and the King and Queen of Wands. Oh my gosh. And they're the fire signs, right? Here, your air sign is coming in. Wow. Okay. I'm having like a little epiphany here. Yeah. It's interesting because, you know, this is your sign, just like they had, you know, it is your sign is here. But Okay, I'm going to say this because I feel like I need to say this. It came up in their reading, but it's interesting. They're bringing me back to that reading. Usually once I do a reading, I don't remember it. But theirs was coming out that they had the fire in one hand. What they were coming into was also being able to hold this love, the cups energy, the water energy. And theirs was a little bit about being afraid of that their fire, their passion, their inspiration would kind of burn, would kind of be put out if they brought love into their life, if they did it in a loving way, right? This is a little bit of that same type of energy. You are in your swords energy. You have that mental ability, right, to analyze, to see things clearly, to make a plan, to follow a plan, to see things black and white, right? You intellectual communicator, all of that. But here's this. I feel like you're coming in with this new type of watery energy. Being able to take what you can communicate, your information, right? That is all of this, your intellect, your information, your wisdom that you have, but you can put it out there in a very loving way. So it's kind of like understanding that if you went out there and you were just going to lecture people, right, about nutrition and spirituality and, whatever else you have learned, right? It would go over the heads of most people, or most people would be kind of bored, or kind of come say, what is Gemini the new guru, right? You are the new guru. You are the new guru. But the difference is you're coming in this energy of loving, like you're bringing it in a very loving way. You're expressing the knowledge that you have gained on your path, but you're doing it in a loving way. Think about that for a little bit in whatever it is that you're creating. Are you putting it out in the pure air sign way, but can you reach more people if you soften it, right? This is a softer energy coming in with a more loving type of way to communicate whatever it is that you're trying to share with the world. Your wisdom, your knowledge, your healing abilities. Really lovely, lovely energy. Yeah, I mean, that is just so profound. I'm going to have to go think about that for a little bit. All right, Gemini, I'm leaving it there. I know that was pretty long. I'm so sorry. I wish you so much love and light in 2023, and I do hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.